All right. Joe Biden, the most radical left president in U.S. history. This is not an ideological analysis, please. This is a historical analysis. Doesn't have anything to do with ideology. All right. So FDR, up until Biden's election, was the most liberal president ever, because in the Great Depression, the government had to come in and take over much of the U.S. economy, which is by definition what liberals want. And Roosevelt had to nationalize a whole bunch of stuff. He had to give massive amounts of money away just to keep people from dying. That's how bad the Great Depression was. Biden has passed him. Now I'm going to give you two examples. The ambassador to the United Nations, Linda Greenfield, was confirmed a few weeks ago, 78-20 in the Senate. Confirmed 78-20. Listen to her on April 13th. Go.
I grew up in the segregated South. I was bused to a segregated school. On weekends, the Klan burned crosses on lawns in our neighborhood. I shared these stories and others to acknowledge on the international stage that I have personally experienced one of America's greatest imperfections. I've seen for myself how the original sin of slavery weaved white supremacy into our founding documents and principles.
That's outrageous. That's the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations basically telling the world, hey, America's a bad country and remains bad because the Constitution is flawed. It's a white supremacist document. That's who Joe Biden put in charge of the United Nations. Second, a woman named Clark, Kristen Clark, all right? She is Mr. Biden's nominee, hasn't been confirmed yet, to lead the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division. All right? Put it up on the screen. Here's Ms. Clark. We are witnessing a unified movement against the violent manifestations of systemic racism that pervades every aspect of our lives, especially when it comes to policing and the operation of the criminal justice system in our country. Black communities and their allies are saying enough's enough. Police violence and racism are twin evils that have harmed black people for far too long. Racism is not a thing of the past. It was not solved 50 years ago. We are a nation in crisis, and the racism underlying this crisis must be addressed today, or more black bodies will face the fatal consequences, unquote. So again, Biden appointing people. Now, this one is in the Justice Department. He said, look, this is a rotten, evil, racist country. Does Joe Biden believe that? I mean, if you analyze his entire senatorial career, never once did he come close to saying anything like that. In fact, he was the tough guy on black crime, the tough guy, and put him in jail, all the African-American criminals. That's who he was. I guess maybe he feels guilty about that. Is he woke, or does he not know what he's doing?